you can tell me when to go. I just wanna say, I just wanna let you know.
Hey you guys, so I wanted to do a series called Wife Before the Ring. And so, this series is not how to attract your Boaz or, what to do to attract the man of God that God has for you. Like, no. But I feel like I wanted to start this series so we can, prepare ourselves, but not only prepare, but better ourselves, because I feel like once we become whole and once we learn more about ourselves, then we will be prepared when God sends, that man of God into our lives. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's go. So, I want to start off talking about love. I feel like in order to fully love somebody else, in order to be in a relationship, we have to first love ourselves. I feel like if we don't love ourselves, then we can't fully love somebody else. And sometimes we would accept something that less than what we're worth. So I feel like loving yourself and respecting, ourselves can help us to, discern the man of God that God is sending into our lives. Before I start talking about love in relationships, I feel like loving ourselves is the first step. To me, loving ourselves is respecting and accepting who God created us to be. I feel like if you don't love yourself, you will accept anything, and or you may accept some God really didn't have for you, but oh, he good looking, he got a good job, he cussing me out every now and then, but he okay though, like he okay, and we will accept something that isn't what God has for us. Growing up in my teen years, I felt like if you were dark skinned, 6 foot, you didn't even have to be 6 foot, but dark skin, and you had the outer appearance that I like, and you was cool or whatever. We go together, like you bae. You're officially bae now. It wasn't until I started reading the Word of God and started, hearing about other people's relationships that are in God, I started to realize, wait, that's another side to this. Like, there's another side to relationships. There's another side to marriage. Growing up, I had low self-esteem. And I felt like, maybe if I dressed a certain way, then guys would try to talk to me, or I would get compliments from guys. And, I thought that was a good thing. Like, if they was like, oh, you bad, or such and such and such and such. And I thought that was good. Like, okay. But what it was doing was temporarily filling that void that I had in my heart because I had low self-esteem. I remember looking at my phone the other day, like my old phone when I was a teenager. And I remember this guy, I was talking to this guy, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the movies with my friend. And he was like, it better not be no dude. And I was like, laugh out loud. He was like, I'm not playing with you. And I'm like, laugh out loud. And he was like, something like, let me find out and watch it. Some kind of thread. But I thought it was so cute. I was like, oh, he's so cute. Like, I thought it was so cute. Like, he mad, he getting jealous and stuff like that. I look back at it right now, that was a warning sign. Like, first of all, that was a sign of jealousy. And that was a sign of abuse. Like, this guy can be abusive, even though it never, how at that age, it wasn't nothing serious. But, if I would have continued to talk to this guy, and we ended up being together for a long time, it would not have ended up good. So, even though he might was just playing, you have to take those things in consideration. As I became closer to God, God began to reveal to me, like, no, daughter, you worth more than this. You worth more, than accepting these guys talking to you like this or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went from, and it wasn't like I was just dressed in like bra and panties, but I was dressed in like maybe some little shorts and a little crop top. I feel like I would be more attractive to guys if I dressed like that. God began to convict me over that, and show me, like, listen, no. I feel like once I start covering myself more, I feel like I was gonna be the perfect wife. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm delivered from low self-esteem. So, I remember talking to this guy, and he was like, you know, we was friends. He was a cool guy, and I remember talking to him, and I remember him saying something like, "I'm gonna call you back," and I was like, "You gonna call me back?" First of all, we stayed on the phone all night last night, but all of a sudden you gotta call me back. Like, and my mind was thinking he finna talk to somebody else. At that moment, you know, I was like, wait. First of all, I thought those days was over with. I thought that, you know, me checking a guy was over with. But what I realized is that I was still dealing with low self-esteem, because if I wasn't, why would I be worrying about him talking to another female? Because I would say, if I wasn't dealing with low self-esteem, I would say, okay, you know, I would trust him, and I would say, you know, and even if, because he didn't give me a sign that, you know, this was the case. It was my own insecurity. So I was like, dang it, I thought I was good. But God reveals to me, like, no, you still need some healing. You still need to go through, you know, a process. So, and I was like, okay. I remember, like, taking off my makeup and, like, wearing my natural hair and not feeling as pretty as with my makeup and my weave. And so I was like, dang it, like, I thought I was over this. So what I did was, I would go some days, I had went through this process where I would wear no makeup, no weave. I would post pictures on Facebook, on Instagram, and I had to learn to accept who God created me to be. So I'm so glad I went through that process, because I feel like it has healed me, and it has made me accept me for me. So now that I feel like I've accepted me and I love myself, I I can discern, you know, if a guy comes into my life, am I settling, or do I feel like, you know, this is what I deserve. So that's why I said, you know, fully loving ourselves and fully embracing us, even without the makeup, even without the weave, even without, you know, all of these adornments, then we can, you know, discern, like, when a guy comes into our life, am I gonna accept this? Am I worth more than what this guy's giving me? So yeah, so I want to read a couple of verses out of the Bible. And first I'm going to read 1 Peter 3:3-4. And it says, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Whether it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. So here God is saying, listen, daughter, your beauty isn't defined by what you wear, what you do to your hair, what, you know, the jewelry that you put on, the makeup and all that. That's not beauty. That's not, you know, your beauty isn't defined by that, because guess what? That's fading. You get, the older you get, them breasts go sag, them thighs go droop, wrinkles gonna start coming in. So, you know, that's gonna fade. But he said that a woman with a quiet spirit and a gentle spirit, that is unfading. He said, God said, now that is a woman of beauty. That is a woman of honor. I also want to read Psalms 139:14. And it says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So this is saying that God made us fearfully and wonderfully made. Like, me, God? Are you sure? And you know, it's not like I grew up in a house that my mom didn't teach me this, but it's what I experienced with my peers that made me feel like, you know, not pretty, or, you know, unworthy, such and such. So God began to reveal to me, like, I made you fearfully and wonderfully made. Your beauty is not defined by what you wear, because that stuff would fade. You know what I mean? And the last verse that I want to read is Proverbs 31:30-31. Proverbs 31:30 through 31 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her with all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. So this really got me, because this society now, they feel like if your eyebrows on fleek, if your hair on fleek, if your, body on fleek, then that's beauty. But no, God is saying that is not beauty. It's kind of like, society has made it to where, if you have bundles, and I'm not knocking, like, 'cause I love hair because I got locks, doesn't mean it, but I'm just saying, society says, look like this, and this is beauty, it's look like this person, and this is beauty, but God is saying, no, that is not what beauty is, because one day that stuff is gonna fade. Beauty isn't defined about what we do. And that's another reason why I got my locks, because it's kind of like I'm tired of hiding. Like this is me personally. I'm not saying nothing about nobody else, but I really want to embrace who God created me to be. So, and it's not even in relationships. Like, embracing you can help you in life in so many ways. Like, fulfilling your purpose and, building relationships with people, not just like a husband or whatever. It helps you it helps you in all areas of your life. So, yeah, loving yourself is, like, so important. And it's definitely a process, especially in a society like this. It's telling you, no ma'am. Your eyebrows don't supposed to be looking like that. Your edges don't supposed to be looking like that. I'm not saying don't look good. That's what I'm not saying. But I'm saying, like, for me, the standard beauty of society isn't what is defined by beauty by God. So yeah, this concludes part 1 of what is love. Next week, I want to talk about what is love concerning, what love would look like in relationships and things like that, and what God says about love. So I will see you guys next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Alright, you guys. Peace.
Say I just wanna